1,000 Elb Sisters, Tammy Slaton's girlfriend's legal troubles, and other signs she's not the one. Tammy Slaton, one of the most recognizable names from TLC's hit reality show 1,000 Elb Sisters, has long been in the public eye for her weight loss journey, personal struggles, and tumultuous relationships. While much of her story revolves around health battles and emotional setbacks, another significant aspect that has drawn attention is her romantic life, particularly her recent relationship with a woman named Kayla Martell. Since coming out publicly as bisexual in 2021, Tammy has shared glimpses of her new love life with Kayla, who was introduced to fans through social media posts and updates on their lives together. However, what initially appeared to be a promising new chapter quickly became mired in controversy, legal issues, and growing concerns about whether Kayla was truly the right partner for Tammy. This article delves into the various red flags surrounding Tammy Slaton's relationship with Kayla Martell, including Kayla's legal troubles, the couple's rocky public image, and the signs that suggest this relationship may not have been the one after all. In early 2021, Tammy made headlines when she revealed during an Instagram live session that she had begun dating a woman, something she described as a new and exciting experience for her. At the time, many fans were supportive, celebrating her openness and willingness to explore her identity. She spoke fondly of Kayla, describing her as kind-hearted and understanding. However, even in those early days, there were hints of instability. Tammy admitted that she didn't know much about being in a same-sex relationship, but was willing to learn. That admission alone raised questions for some observers who wondered if the relationship was more about seeking comfort or filling a void rather than genuine compatibility. As Kayla stepped further into the spotlight, details about her past began to surface. According to court records and news reports, Kayla Martell had prior legal troubles that painted a concerning picture. In 2019, Kayla was arrested and charged with felony assault after allegedly attacking someone with a metal object. She later pleaded guilty to a reduced charge of second-degree assault and was sentenced to probation. This revelation came as a shock to many fans who had assumed Kayla was simply a kind-hearted person helping Tammy through her recovery. Tammy, who has struggled with mental health and trauma throughout her life, seemed to downplay these concerns at first. In interviews and social media posts, she defended Kayla, stating that everyone deserves a second chance and that people shouldn't be judged solely by their past mistakes. While that sentiment is understandable, it also highlighted a recurring theme in Tammy's relationships: her tendency to overlook red flags in favor of giving people the benefit of the doubt, often at her own expense. Despite the initial excitement surrounding their romance, cracks in the foundation of the relationship began to appear relatively quickly. Fans noticed that Tammy's social media posts about Kayla fluctuated between expressions of deep affection and subtle hints of frustration. There were moments where Tammy would share sweet messages about how much Kayla supported her, followed shortly by cryptic captions suggesting tension behind closed doors. Additionally, Tammy's sister Amy Slaton seemed hesitant to fully embrace Kayla as part of the family. While Amy never publicly criticized Kayla, her absence from many of Tammy's couple-related posts and events suggested a lack of full support. Another issue was the imbalance in the relationship dynamic. Tammy, still dealing with health complications from her extreme weight loss surgery, often required assistance with daily tasks. Reports indicated that Kayla sometimes seemed overwhelmed by the responsibility of caring for Tammy, especially as Tammy continued to face medical setbacks. There were rumors, never officially confirmed, that Kayla had left Tammy alone for extended periods while pursuing other interests or spending time with friends, leaving Tammy feeling abandoned. Whether true or not, These stories contributed to a growing perception that Kayla wasn't as committed to the relationship as Tammy believed. Financial matters are often a major source of conflict in relationships, and Tammy and Kayla's romance was no exception. Tammy earns a significant income from her appearances on 1000 Elb Sisters, brand partnerships, and social media presence. While exact figures aren't public, it's safe to assume that she makes six figures annually. Meanwhile, Kayla's financial background was less transparent, and some fans speculated that she relied heavily on Tammy for living expenses. Tammy herself hinted at money being a point of contention in the relationship. During a live stream, she mentioned that she had learned to be cautious about sharing her finances too freely, implying that there had been disagreements over how money was handled in the relationship. Some critics accused Kayla of taking advantage of Tammy's generosity, especially after photos surfaced online showing Kayla wearing expensive designer items that fans believed were purchased using Tammy's funds. Tammy eventually addressed the situation, stating that she was trying to teach Kayla financial responsibility, but acknowledged that managing money together had been a challenge. One of the most damaging aspects of the relationship was the public nature of its deterioration. As tensions grew between Tammy and Kayla, both women took to social media to air grievances, leading to a series of back-and-forth comments that played out in front of millions of followers. Kayla deleted several posts featuring Tammy and changed her relationship status to single, fueling speculation that the couple had broken up. Meanwhile, Tammy posted cryptic messages hinting at betrayal and heartbreak, though she never directly named Kayla. Adding to the drama, Kayla's ex-partner re-emerged online and made claims about Kayla's behavior during their previous relationship. These allegations included accusations of dishonesty and manipulation, which only added to the growing list of concerns about Kayla's character. Tammy, already emotionally vulnerable due to years of personal trauma, found herself caught in the middle of a very public scandal. Her fans rallied around her, offering support and urging her to focus on her healing rather than trying to salvage the relationship. Looking back at the timeline of Tammy and Kayla's relationship, several key signs indicate that they were not meant to be together long-term. 1. Rushing into the relationship. Tammy admitted that she jumped into the relationship quickly without fully understanding what she wanted from a same-sex partnership. Rushing into any serious relationship can lead to unrealistic expectations and disappointment. 2. Ignoring red flags. From Kayla's legal history to financial concerns, Tammy repeatedly chose to overlook potential problems instead of addressing them head-on. While compassion is important, ignoring serious issues can lead to greater pain down the line. 3. Lack of family support. Healthy relationships typically involve mutual acceptance from loved ones. Amy Slaton's apparent reluctance to fully embrace Kayla signaled a lack of alignment between Tammy's personal life and her closest relationships. 4. Emotional imbalance. Tammy has always been open about her need for emotional support and stability. However, the relationship seemed to place more strain on her than provide comfort, which is not indicative of a healthy partnership. 5. Public breakdown. The fact that the relationship unraveled so publicly suggests a lack of communication and maturity in handling private conflicts. A strong relationship should be able to weather storms without needing to play them out on social media. 6. Personal growth versus dependence. Throughout her journey, Tammy has focused on self-improvement, independence, and rebuilding her life. Relationships that hinder that progress, whether intentionally or unintentionally, are unlikely to be beneficial in the long run. By mid-2023, it became clear that Tammy and Kayla had gone their separate ways. Tammy returned to focusing on her health, career, and rebuilding trust with her fan base. She remained optimistic about the future, expressing a desire to find real love someday, but only when the time is right. In a candid interview, Tammy reflected on the lessons she learned from the relationship. She admitted that she had fallen into old patterns of seeking validation through romantic connections, rather than building a solid foundation of self-worth first. "I think I was looking for someone to fix me," she said, "but you can't expect another person to do that. You have to heal yourself first." That level of self-awareness marks a turning point for Tammy, one that could ultimately lead to healthier, more fulfilling relationships in the future. Tammy Slaton's relationship with Kayla Martell was filled with highs and lows, but ultimately served as a valuable learning experience. From legal troubles to emotional challenges and public scrutiny, the relationship exposed several warning signs that pointed toward incompatibility. While it's easy to criticize public figures for their choices, Tammy's story is a reminder that even those in the spotlight are navigating complex emotions, insecurities, and desires for connection, just like anyone else. The key takeaway is not about placing blame, but about recognizing the importance of self-respect, boundaries, and choosing partners who contribute positively to your life. New video of 1,000-old sisters Tammy Slaton walking following dramatic weight loss leaves fans shocked. In a surprising and heartwarming turn of events, 1,000-old sisters star Tammy Slaton has captured the attention of fans and followers around the world with her latest video showcasing her remarkable weight loss journey. The emotional transformation, which many thought might never happen, is now unfolding before everyone's eyes, and it's leaving fans shocked, inspired, and deeply moved. Tammy, who rose to fame alongside her late sister Amy through TLC's emotionally charged docuseries 1,000-Old Sisters, has been on a long and difficult road toward better health. Known for their struggles with severe obesity, mental health battles, and addiction, the sisters' story has resonated with millions. While Amy tragically passed away in 2023, Tammy has continued her journey alone, but not without hope. The newly released video, posted on Tammy's social media accounts, shows her walking unassisted for the first time in years. Dressed casually and visibly thinner, she moves slowly but steadily down a hallway, pausing occasionally to catch her breath or smile at the camera. Her progress is undeniable, and the joy radiating from her face speaks volumes about how far she has come. Fans were quick to respond, flooding comment sections with messages of support, admiration, and disbelief. Many expressed shock not only at her physical transformation, but also at her newfound confidence and energy. Some even admitted they had tears in their eyes watching the video, overwhelmed by the sheer determination it must have taken to reach this point. Tammy's path to this moment has been anything but easy. For years, she struggled with morbid obesity, mobility issues, and emotional trauma that made sustainable change seem nearly impossible. The 1,000-Old Sisters series gave viewers an intimate look into the challenges both women faced, including food addiction, self-esteem issues, and the difficulty of maintaining healthy habits in an environment filled with temptation and instability. Following Amy's passing, many wondered what would become of Tammy. Would she fall back into old patterns? Would grief derail her efforts to get healthier? But instead of giving up, Tammy used the pain of losing her sister as motivation to keep going, not just for herself, but in honor of Amy. She began making small but meaningful changes in her life. With the help of medical professionals, therapists, and a growing support network, Tammy started focusing on nutrition, physical therapy, and mental wellness. She underwent bariatric surgery earlier this year, a decision she described as both terrifying and necessary. The procedure marked the beginning of a new chapter, one filled with discipline, patience, and perseverance. Her recent video is a testament to the power of consistency and self-love. Each step she takes is symbolic of her refusal to give up, no matter how slow the progress may be. It's clear that Tammy is embracing this journey one day at a time, celebrating every victory, whether it's walking a few feet farther or simply feeling more energetic than before. One of the most powerful aspects of Tammy's transformation is how it breaks the cycle of negativity and self-doubt that once defined her public image. In the early seasons of 1000 Old Sisters, Tammy was often portrayed as someone struggling to stay committed to her health goals. There were setbacks, relapses, and moments of frustration that left fans questioning whether real change was possible. But now, years later, she is proving that recovery and transformation are not linear, they are messy, emotional, and deeply personal. By sharing her journey so openly, Tammy is helping to shift the narrative around weight loss and body positivity. She isn't trying to fit into anyone else's idea of success. She's reclaiming her health and happiness on her own terms. Many fans have praised her for being honest about the difficulties of post-surgery life. Loose skin, dietary restrictions, and emotional ups and downs are all part of the process, and Tammy doesn't shy away from discussing them. Instead, she uses her platform to educate others about what true recovery looks like, not just the highlight reel, but the gritty reality behind it. The response to Tammy's latest video has been overwhelmingly positive. Fans across the social media platforms have flooded her comments with uplifting messages, calling her inspiring, brave, and a fighter. Many have shared their own stories of weight loss and health struggles, thanking Tammy for giving them hope. Some longtime followers admitted they hadn't expected to see her in such good shape again, especially after everything she's been through. Others noted that seeing her walk independently is a reminder that it's never too late to make a change, no matter how daunting the odds may seem. There have also been calls for more compassion when discussing people like Tammy in the public eye. While some online trolls still attempt to criticize or mock her appearance, the majority of responses have been supportive, emphasizing the importance of kindness and understanding when it comes to health journeys. As Tammy continues on this transformative path, many are curious about what the future holds for her. Will she continue appearing on 1000 Old Sisters? Does she plan to share more updates with her fans? And perhaps most importantly, how does she envision her life moving forward? While Tammy hasn't revealed any concrete plans yet, she has hinted at wanting to use her experience to help others, whether through motivational speaking, advocacy work, or simply continuing to share her journey on social media. She seems determined to turn her pain into purpose. She has also spoken about wanting to travel, reconnect with family members, and enjoy simple pleasures she once found impossible due to her size. From grocery shopping to walking outside without assistance, these everyday activities are becoming more attainable, and each one brings her closer to a life she once only dreamed of. Tammy Slaton's story is more than just a weight loss journey, it's a symbol of resilience, healing, and second chances. In a world where public figures often feel pressured to present polished, picture-perfect lives, Tammy's openness about her struggles makes her incredibly relatable. Her journey reminds us that transformation is not always fast, nor is it always pretty, but it is always worth it when pursued with love, courage, and determination. She has endured unimaginable grief, battled lifelong addictions, and faced countless setbacks, yet here she stands, stronger than ever. For those who have followed her since the beginning of 1000 Old Sisters, this latest chapter feels like a long-awaited breakthrough. And for those who are just discovering her story, it serves as a powerful reminder that no one is beyond redemption, and that healing is always possible, no matter how broken we may feel. As Tammy steps forward literally and figuratively into this new phase of her life, the message is clear: hope is alive, change is possible, and sometimes the bravest thing we can do is take one more step forward. 1000 Old Sisters star Tammy Slaton, 38, has a transformation that means more than just looks. When fans first met Tammy Slaton through the hit TLC reality series 1000 Old Sisters, they were introduced to a woman who was not only battling physical health challenges, but also emotional and psychological struggles that had been years in the making. Alongside her sister Amy, Tammy's story became one of resilience, heartbreak, setbacks, and ultimately, hope. Now at 38, Tammy has undergone a transformation that goes far beyond what meets the eye. Her weight loss journey is not just about shedding pounds, but about reclaiming her life, rebuilding her identity, and healing from within. Born on August 12, 1984, in Paducah, Kentucky, Tammy Slaton grew up in an environment where food was both comfort and coping mechanism. Her childhood was marked by instability, trauma, and emotional neglect, factors that often contribute to unhealthy relationships with food and body image. As she matured into adulthood, these deep-seated issues manifested in severe obesity, compounded by medical conditions such as congestive heart failure, sleep apnea, and mobility limitations. For many years, Tammy lived a life largely confined to her home, dependent on others for basic needs and unable to participate in everyday activities without experiencing pain or exhaustion. Her relationship with her sister Amy was both a source of support and a shared burden, as the two women leaned heavily on each other while navigating their respective journeys through addiction, grief, and self-worth issues. The death of Amy's daughter, Brianna, in 2017 was a devastating blow to both sisters, plunging them further into cycles of emotional eating and isolation. It was during this time that producers from 1000 Elb Sisters reached out, offering an opportunity for the siblings to receive medical intervention and psychological support. While the show brought much-needed attention to their health crisis, it also exposed them to public scrutiny and criticism, a double-edged sword that would shape Tammy's path moving forward. In the early seasons of 1000 Elb Sisters, viewers watched as Tammy and Amy began their weight loss journeys under the guidance of bariatric specialists, nutritionists, and mental health professionals. For Tammy, the process was slow and fraught with setbacks. She struggled with motivation, experienced lapses in discipline, and faced the harsh realities of how deeply intertwined her emotional state was with her eating habits. However, something shifted over time. With consistent support and access to medical care, Tammy began to make progress. She underwent a gastric sleeve procedure, which drastically reduced the size of her stomach and helped control her appetite. But surgery alone wasn't enough. It was her commitment to therapy, lifestyle changes, and personal accountability that made the difference. By 2023, Tammy had lost over 500 pounds. The physical transformation was undeniable. She could walk unaided, engage in light exercise, and even travel to places she once thought impossible. Yet, more importantly, she had begun to change internally. She started speaking openly about her mental health, sharing her battles with depression, anxiety, and low self-esteem. She acknowledged that losing weight was not just about fitting into smaller clothes or improving her appearance, it was about giving herself a future. One of the most profound aspects of Tammy's transformation is her growing sense of self-awareness and emotional maturity. In interviews and social media updates, she has reflected on how learning to love and accept herself has been a long and painful process. She admitted that for much of her life, she believed she was unworthy of happiness or success because of her size and past mistakes.